Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. We have just a few housekeeping out for Healthy Marriage grantees in Priority Area 2 and Priority Area 3. Please report to Michelle Walters' cluster session. So that's for this afternoon after lunch for Healthy Marriage grantees, Priority Area 2 and Priority Area 3. Report to Michelle Walters' cluster session. Also, for any Healthy Marriage grantees, there's a quick usability questionnaire, 8 to 9 questions. It's voluntary because we don't want us to get in trouble. Please take time to fill it out to help them with data collection for their community of practice. So that's for the Healthy Marriage grantees. They're doing a usability testing on the community of practice, and it's only 8 to 9 questions. For the Responsible Fatherhood grantees, the White House is very interested in our website. They are very interested in fatherhood.gov, and they're planning on making some changes to it next fiscal year. But we also want to be responsive to you. So we are doing a usability testing as well. So would you please stop by the clearinghouse station set up in the exhibition room where you can do a usability testing. We are planning to do a community of practice next year, similar to the Healthy Marriage, where we'll have a space just for you, which will remind you of deadlines and be more responsive to your needs, as well as we make changes that the White House is expecting for us to do. We want to make sure that we still are relevant to you. So would you stop past and talk to Matt Cruz or Jennifer McHenry about what you would like to see on the website as we make changes for next year. Thank you and have a good day. Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa. At this time, I have the pleasure of introducing Goodwill Industries. They're from St. Paul, Minnesota, and they're going to make the presentation this morning. Goodwill Industries is targeted to serve 200 fathers in St. Louis, Minnesota. They conduct responsible parenting and economic stability and are funded for $5,000 annually. Guy Bowling will be the facilitator, and he will also introduce the panel of fathers on the panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanyette. Good morning. Oh, y'all can do better than that. Good morning. Yeah, much better. Thank you very much. As Tanya said, my name is Guy Bowling, and I am with Goodwill Easter Sales of Minnesota. I would like to first just take this opportunity to thank OFA for allowing us to come and speak with you here today. And these gentlemen to both my left and to my right are participants in our program and will have an opportunity to share their story. So at first, I'd just like to send a sincere thank you and express my sincere gratitude to OFA for providing us with this spectacular opportunity. So could you guys please join me in giving them a round of applause for giving us this opportunity. And a very special thank you to our FPO extraordinaire, Ms. Tanyette Babels. We truly appreciate her providing us this opportunity, along with Geneva Ware Rice. They both were instrumental in having our guys come out today. So truly, truly, sincerely appreciate this opportunity. I want to start with the issues. Today is going to be, I've already been extremely inspired and motivated by the workshops yesterday, the speakers yesterday, the panel presentations yesterday, but I want to make sure that I reinforce the issue and the challenges that fathers face that are trying to be the best men, the best fathers they can be. And I don't want us to get away from the fact that they're facing considerable challenges, and you'll hear that from the men today. I don't want us to get away from there's a tremendous crisis as it relates to fatherhood, particularly as it relates to low-income communities. And so I don't want us to forget about how serious this is in terms of why we're all here, why we do the work that we do, and why we're part of this struggle in terms of helping fathers be play an active role and be positive in the lives of their kids and build strong kids and strong families. So I don't want us to forget about that, because we know the pregnancy rate and the birth rate of children being born to unmarried parents is continuing to increase, particularly in the African American community as well as the Native American community, along with the Latino community. And we're seeing it at alarming rates. And we know what happens with those kids that are born to those unmarried parents and what's most likely to happen to them as they grow into try and be responsible and professional and healthy adults. And we know that it's most likely that they're going to end up incarcerated, they're going to end up employed, they're going to end up with teen pregnancy, they're going to end up at early death for some of the men. So I don't want us to sugarcoat the seriousness of this issue and the challenges that the young men on this panel will be speaking about today, as well as the challenge that we all know in this room, the struggle it is to do this work. So I just want to keep it in context for all of us. Our objective today is I want all of you to come away from this session with a basic understanding of our organization and our Responsible Fatherhood program. I want you to hear directly from the dads that's been involved in the Father Project. I want you to understand a little bit about our Citizen Father Project, which is a component of the Father Project that focuses on leadership and fathers who achieved in the program and been successful in the lives of their children in the community. I want to explain what the Citizen Father Project component is all about. And then I also want to leave time for questions for you. But before I get into the panel, I want to talk a little bit about Goodwill Easter Seals. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Goodwill. Anybody out here familiar with Goodwill? Shop there, donate there. You guys are? Okay. Goodwill Easter Seals is one of the oldest nonprofit organizations in the state of Minnesota. We have 18 retail stores that actually generates revenue that support our Mission Services Department, of which the Father Project is a part of. We're just one of the programs that's a part of Goodwill Easter Seals. We also have 160 affiliates throughout the country, and our focus is on workforce development. We provide transitional employment services to individuals that are facing barriers to successfully obtain gainful employment. So Goodwill Easter Seals is really the parent organization for the Father Project and the Responsible Fatherhood grant that we receive, which is, as Tanya was saying, a multiple activity grant focusing on economic stability and responsible parenting. So just to kind of give you an idea about our organization, and we understand that we have a level of expertise in workforce development, but we also want to combine that with responsible parenting to impact families and ultimately put them in a position to succeed, and that's what the Father Project is all about. Our mission is empowering fathers to overcome barriers that prevent them from supporting their children both economically and emotionally. We're part of initially we started as a demonstration project as part of the Partners for Fragile Families initiative. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with that, but that was about 10 years ago. And we were one of the demonstration sites that started working with low-income, non-custodial fathers between the ages of 15 to 25. We've been around for about 10 years, and we've done a lot of good work, and we've provided a lot of expertise and became a leader in the field as it relates to working with low-income, non-custodial dads. But I want to share just a little bit about what my role is. I am the manager of the Father Project, and I've been with the Father Project for about 3 years, but I initially was there when they first started for a couple of years and then went on to do some other things, and then I came back because it was close to my heart. I was passionate about it, but at the same time, I'm qualified to do the work, and what makes me qualified is a number of different things. Number one, I've been in the field of fatherhood, and I've been part of the fatherhood movement for the last 15 years. I've done trainings, I've been a consultant, I've done curriculum development, but more importantly, I grew up in a single-parent household with an absentee dad, unfortunately, and then I became a teen dad, and then I became a single teen dad, and I had custody of my son. But today, I'm a proud dad because he's 25 years old, he's a recent college graduate, and he's in graduate school today, so I'm a proud dad as a result of doing that. Also, I can't forget her, because if she was here, she would say, "Dad, how could you possibly forget me?" I can't forget my 9-year-old, as recently as Monday, celebrated her birthday, my little princess, Avery Diana. So I am a proud father of a daughter who teaches me so much each and every day. Oh, my goodness, I learn. She makes me listen constantly. So I've perfected, or continuing to perfect, my listening skills. So that's my pride and joy. My son is David. I want to get right into the gentlemen who are on the stage today so you can hear about their trials, their tribulations, their challenges, their hopes, their fears in terms of the role that they play in the life of their children and the type of dads that they want to be. But before I actually get into the questions of the panel, because that's why we're all here, we want to hear the stories of these guys, and they're going to share them too. So before we go there, I want you guys to take a look at something we put together, because what we know is the positive involvement of both parents, regardless if they're together or not, has a tremendous impact and is beneficial to the life of that child in terms of them growing up to be healthy and productive. So before we hear from the panel, Dan, could you cue the video?
I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am a swift wind, sweeping the country. I am a river, down in the valley, oh, I am a vision, and I can see clearly. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. The world's greatest, Joe. The world's greatest. Forever. I am a giant, I am an eagle, oh, I am a lion down in the jungle. I am a marching band, I am the people, oh, I am a helping hand, I am a hero. If anybody asks you who I am, just stand up tall, look them in the face and say, I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest, and I'm that little bit of hope. When my back's against the ropes, I can feel it, I'm the world's greatest. In the ring of life, I'll reign love, I will reign, and the world will notice a king. Oh yeah, yeah. Darkness, I'll shine a light, shine a light, and the mirrors of success reflect in me. I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, said I made it, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit, I'm that little bit of hope. Yeah, yeah, I can feel it, feel it. I'm the world's greatest. Whoa, I'm that star up in the sky. Oh, yes, I am. I done made it. I'm the world's greatest. And I'm that little bit of hope, yeah. Oh, when my back's against the wall, I can feel the world's greatest. I saw the light and that star up in the tunnel. I'm that mountain peak, even the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm the world's greatest. And fame was right there. I'm that little bit of fool, yeah. My back's against the locked doors. Now I can just walk. I'm the world's greatest. Say it's the greatest. It's the greatest. Can you feel it? Say the greatest, yeah. Can you feel it? Yeah. Yeah, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Believed in the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And faith was right there to pull me through, yeah. It used to be locked doors. Now I can just walk on through. Hey,
Thank you, thank you. Now that we're all feeling pretty good, you can always see the impact that parents have on the life of their kids just by the smiles on the children's faces within that video. So we created that a couple of years ago. Actually, a father actually put that together. It was just a compilation of different activities that we do throughout the year. We're a project that has a whole buffet of services because we understand that fathers come with multiple issues, multiple challenges, so you need multiple services to be able to address those barriers that prevent them from connecting with their kids. And we do it through a collaborative partnership model. And before I move on, I just want to make sure I acknowledge my colleague that is actually in your program that says he's supposed to be on the panel, but that's just actually was a misprint, but he's actually here. But I just want to introduce my colleague, who is our director at Goodwill Easter Seals of Minnesota, Mr. Andrew Freeberg, who is in the audience now. So I just want to say hello to Andrew. Now, you guys are probably tired of hearing from me. Let's hear from the guys. To my right, I would like to introduce Mr. Charles Kane. Mr. Charles Kane has been in the program for quite some time, and he definitely has a story to share. So, Mr. Charles Kane, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, as you know, my name is Charles Kane. I have two boys, Savion Royal Kane. He's 4 years old. That name, Savion, is symbolic. It means savior, and I'll explain it a little bit later. And his younger brother, Judah Royal Kane. I came to the Father Project about a couple of months after Savion was born. And initially what I was coming for is some genetic testing. And when I came, I received a whole lot more. I received information about my rights as a father. I was empowered with the knowledge that I obtained from the parenting group. I spent time with the employees and the other fellas and had the camaraderie and the family vibe that was in the atmosphere just get you hooked, make you want to stay. We look at these slideshows and it almost brought tears into my eyes because all these fellas that's on the slideshow we know personally. We spend time with, you know, we've watched each other grow. And it's so big what we do in Minneapolis at the Father Project. I remember first when I came into the Father Project, weeks before I came in, weeks after, I looked around and I said, you know what? This is something that's needed in every county, every major county in the US of A. I already at that moment felt privileged to be involved, to be a part, to be a participant of what was going on there in Hennepin County in Minneapolis. Again, my story is very long. I was involved in a lot of things, robbery, drug activity, organized crime, but one thing that helped me was becoming a dad. I have a lot of friends that didn't really move. I got friends that still do what we used to do. They have kids. But one thing that touched me was becoming a father. I remember being abandoned, being lonely, being stuck in my room with nobody to come at my rescue, I felt. Being a young child, 7, 8 years old, no value of living because of the circumstance and the environment that I was in. And I remember one thing. I always thought, man, I wish I had a dad that I could run to, that I could say, I want to go to my father. I wish I had a hero, a Superman, to come and take me out of this mess that I'm in. So when I became a father, I knew that it was up to me to make things different for my child. So I had to sacrifice, and that's why that name Savion is so symbolic, because in French, it means savior. And I had no parts of naming him. I wanted to name him something else. I'm surprised. I was telling a lady on the flight, I'm surprised his mother named him Savion, because I thought she might have named him Sean or something, or after me. And, you know, it's not, you know, so I was kind of surprised. So it was like God sent, because he did save my life. And if it wasn't for him and my son, Judah, I wouldn't be here today.
Thank you. To Charles's right, Jose, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Jose Ruacho. I have 2 children. My daughter is going to be 6 in September. Her name's Rita. And my son is going to be 3 in October, and his name's Cameron. I came to the Fathers Project about a year ago. I lost my job, and my mother's daughter stopped letting me see my daughter, so I went to the Fathers Project to get some help with visitation. And I went there, and things went pretty well. They told me my rights, and that I could, you know, I could see her not even if I wasn't paying child support. So, you know, from there on, I just started changing, you know, the way I viewed things, because I thought I was the bad guy in the whole situation the whole time, and that changed my view of it, and I felt a lot better to know that the county was somewhat on my side, and, you know, I wasn't being looked at as the bad guy. So I've changed a lot since I came to the Fathers Project. I've been sober now for about 2 years. And I'm just starting right now, but I've accomplished so much in the last year and a half, you know, more than I've accomplished in the past 5 years. I'm gonna start my 2nd semester of college, and you know, I'm feeling pretty good. So I've achieved a lot, and I'm doing what I want to do. So I'm happy I found the place, the Fathers Project. So thanks.
Thank you, Jose. Jerome, tell us a little bit. Jerome is to my left, to your right at the end next to Tanya. Tell us a little bit about your story, how you grew up, and your names and ages of your child.
I have one daughter. She's 2.5. Amazing 2.5. The things they do at 2.5 is crazy. Y'all know what I'm talking about, huh? Yeah. I am 25 years old. I was born and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Both of my parents was absent, which left me to be raised by my grandparents, which after they reached a certain age, I went into foster care and was bouncing around in foster care. Ultimately, I ended up graduating from high school and went to college to obtain a CDA in child care. Things were going great. I had a couple setbacks as my child was born. Me and the mother didn't get along, so to speak. So I originally came to the Fathers Project for legal services, which was great. They helped me out a lot with that. End up working there and working with some other fathers and becoming more of a role model, a leader there, and also a participant, which helped me out in my life a lot. It means a lot to me.
Thank you.
No problem.
These guys asked me to go in that order, so that's why we're kind of bouncing around. So hopefully you're following us. Mr. Conway, Red Bear, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. My name is Conway. First of all, I'd like to say I'm honored to be here. and for all the other families, and standing up here for all the other families and fathers at the Father Project, and at another place where I volunteer at DI Division of Indian Works, Family Services in Minneapolis. My name is Conway Red Bear. I'm the son of 8 children, 8 brothers and sisters. I am originally from South Dakota, the Cheyenne River Reservation. I come from a background from the Sioux Lakota, and my grandpa, he's from Sitting Bull. My grandma's from Crazy Horse, and that's about it. First of all, when I came, my son Eric, his name is he's 3 years old, and he inspired me to be a better father, and that's how I came to the Father Project. Before that, I was coming there for services and child support, genetic testing, and whatnot, and found out that I came there looking for something else, and as I came through the parenting and I knew all the staff and all the fathers, it's just, man, it was just, like a life-changing experience, like connection that, I never felt, So it was, man, it was really, everybody was supportive, and it's still doing that, and that motivated me to do something better, as a parent, and as for us as fathers, that's what we should do, So it motivated me to get out there and to help give back to the community. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I've been going out with presentations with Guy and them, and my advocate, and my former, I'm a former advocate, Ira Dixon, and he supported me. He knows me, and all through, know what I went through coming to the Father Project, and man, it's been a supporting cast, so, and it's really supportive. So that's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Conway. Just wanted to give you an idea about these men and their background. And when I talk about how we were initially a part of the Partners for Fragile Families demonstration initiative 10 years ago, just wanted to give you some background information on these guys in terms of the families that they've come up in, and now they have families themselves. So I wanted them to give you an opportunity just to hear their story initially on the type of families and the environment that they grew up in. So my next question, and I'll start on this end with Jose. Now that you've been in the Father Project, every last one of these gentlemen who are on the panel have been in the Father Project a year, if not longer. I want to ask Jose, the time that you've been in the Father Project, and you going on a little over a year, what has it meant to you to be a part of a program like the Father Project?
Well, it's meant for me, like, it's almost like a family, because I attend a Tuesday group that's for the Latino parents. And it's held in Spanish, and it brings me basically closer to my people, and it has that sense of community, or the family that I come from. I come from a family of 8. I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. And I got a lot of help out of this group. I learned I got a lot of tools from, you know, from the people there, not only because they share their stories, but they communicate a lot of good information to you. And I've done a lot thanks to them. They helped me with transportation when my payments for child support were way high, and so I keep coming back there for just because they're my friends now. They're like my family now. I go back there and sit, relax, talk for a little bit, and then we go on with the group. Everybody shares what has happened to them during the week, and it just brings us closer together, and it's a bond that we all share. We're all basically coming from the same thing and having the same issues, and we're basically just learning from each other. We give each other ideas of what we can do better, and you know, I'm happy that I'm there. I come there for, you know, just basically to come and visit my friends and talk to the people there. It was pretty neat because one of the facilitators, I knew her from 5 years back, and I hadn't seen her for a while, and so it was pretty comfortable to come back there and talk to her, and she helped me out a lot. And so basically, the Fathers Project is like my family, because, you know, with my sobriety, everything, like all my friends, supposedly friends, you know, I had to get away from that circle. Everybody that I knew, I had to back away from, and just decided to build a new circle around me, you know, and I found it at the Fathers Project. And so I've, you know, basically started all over again. But it's great. I feel at home when I'm there.
Thank you, Jose. You know, these guys, they do smile. You guys can smile. It's okay. It's okay, gentlemen. You can smile. All right. Charles, what has your involvement in the Father Project, what has that meant for you?
Man, it's meant a lot, and if I'm not smiling up here, I'm just taking it all in. It's very emotional for me because I've come a long way since becoming a participant of the Father Project. And it makes me think about my former advocate, Robert Wesley, who is ill right now, but he was in several of the pictures. I saw one of the pictures that was up there that I took with him and my current advocate right now, Mr. Dwight. And it meant a lot because I loved the group. It was like therapy for me, and I'm a talker, so I can get and express at the same time. So coming to the parenting group was a lot, getting that information. I love information and knowledge and soaking it up. And it was great having an advocate that I can go to, sit in his cubicle, and spend about an hour and a half. Even now, with Guy, I call him Coach. Every time I go to the Father Project, you know, we sit up in that cubicle of his, and we can spend about an hour easily, you know, just talking. And I'm a guy, I have a lot to say and express and talk, and you know, so I like to talk and get advice from different get wise counsel from different areas. And Father Project is great because that's a place that I can come and get that, you know, and is all the advocates that's there. You know, we got Michelle Bell. She's more direct. She's gonna give it to you. She's gonna give it to you like it's supposed to be given. She's tough, but she's motherly too, and she's just gonna give it to you cut and dry and tell you to man up and see you later, Mr. K. You know what you got to do. So it's a great atmosphere, and when I think about the Father Project, I just can't help but to get emotional, because the road, the journey that, you know, the Father Project has helped me taking to become the man that I am today, the craft and, you know, the part that they play to mold my life. It's meant a lot to me. I don't believe words can truly express what it's meant to me. So you just have to see the smile on my children's face.
Thank you, Charles. Conway, what has it meant to you? You alluded to a number of different things for the support and the help that you receive, but what the Promoting Responsible Fatherhood grant helped us do was extend our reach out to communities that we hadn't served in the past. We were primarily an organization that served about 85% African-American men. We serve about 200 men a year that go through an extensive enrollment process, orientation process, and receive a number of different comprehensive services. And again, it goes back to we want to be a one-stop shop to address all those issues. And then the other thing that we appreciate about being one-stop shop is we like to say that our services are down the hall as opposed to up the street. And I don't know, fellas, help me out if it's just a man thing or not. We want to go to one place. We want to get the shoes, the belt, the tie, the coat, the cologne. We want to go to one place. And so part of the one-stop shop approach is really convenient, as well as it's really beneficial to these guys who want to take advantage of multiple services. So let me ask Conway. Conway, with your experience within the Father Project within the last year or so, what has it meant to you, especially considering the fact that we've extended our reach to culturally specific communities, including the Native American fathers, along with our Latino fathers? What has it meant for you being involved in the program?
What it has meant to me is my I think it's because of my son. Because you know, ever since that I came back into the home, and I wasn't there for a while when he was born, and then after a while, since I went through the parenting process and got all the support in Father Project, and I went in the home and back in the home and went back to my son. And after a while, you know, we moved to a different place. We went through a hard time, and we moved to a different place. And then the change, in him, all the struggles he had, and us as me and my is gonna be my wife here in the coming months. So pretty soon. Happy about that. And man, me and her just you know, being.
That's something new, Conway? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
And here, but me and her just, you know, just teaching him, and with support of the public schools, you know, we're proud of the way he, you know, has turned out. Just, man, I'm just proud of him, and she's proud of him, and Renita is and man, he's just, you know, I'm just proud of the way he's turning out, how far he went into his education, and then that's one of the tools that, you know, the Father Project really helped me out. You know, the thing is, when fathers, one of the reasons is fathers have the right of anything that involves our children, you know, we do. And that's one of the things that you know, and the fathers believe through being fathers to our children and mothers, you know. And so, yeah, that's one of the solutions, better solutions we have.
Thank you. Jerome.
The Father's Project for me was.
Can you guys hear him?
No. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No, just like. The Father's Project for me was, or is, laying a solid foundation. For me, it was like when I came there, I was upset. I didn't know what to do. You know, the mother of my child wouldn't let me see my daughter, and you know, we're arguing, and it was like I kind of lost my job, so I kind of got knocked off my horse, so to speak. And you know, I was ready to give up. I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to crawl in the corner and just lay there, you know. And for me, the Father Project was a revival for me. It gave me another breath of air, you know. It gave me a second chance to actually get back up, and I came there, and Mr. Bowles said, "Hey man, you know, the fight's not over," and that still sticks with me to this day. Like I said, I originally came there for legal services. I was there for about a year, partaking in the groups and talking to other fathers, and you know, getting pointers and building relationships and hearing other aspects and other problems and situations, and which that's so important to this project, because those bonds is kind of what keeps us going, is to know that we got somewhere to go and somebody that understands and goes through the same thing we're going through on a day-to-day basis. After about a year, I think that's when I started working with the Fathers Project, doing some child care, and that gave me a chance to actually work not only with other fathers but with their kids, and see them working with their kids and teach something to a father, and then 6 months later he's doing it and he's proud about it. You know, that kind of tickles you on the inside. So yeah, that's basically what it means to me. It's a revival, you know, for me at least.
Thank you. Jerome is being extremely modest. Jerome has made significant strides and accomplished a number of different things since coming to the Father Project. Jerome has an early childhood education background. Jerome had worked with Head Start, and our partnership in terms of what we wanted to do this year, well, actually since we received the Promoting Responsible Fatherhood grant, is really begin to focus on child development and early child education. So we developed relationship with early child education service providers, and we developed that component of our project. And Jerome, with that background, he helped us get it off the ground, and he supported us, and he was assistant teacher with one of our partners that focused on early child education. And so Jerome, he's being shy and modest today, but he's a tremendously humorous, just absolutely funny guy. And he utilizes that skill to get on the floor with the kids and show the fathers that it's okay to read to your kids, it's okay to color and sing and jump around and dance, because he will demonstrate it right in front of you. And they was
looking at me crazy though when I first started doing it, like, this dude has lost his mind, right? Why is he quacking like a duck in here? What's wrong with him, right? And you know, and then after the kids start getting into it, the father start getting into it, then the father started having more fun than the kids was. You know, I'm like, and that's a big part of child care, is getting in there and actually doing the dirty work, so to speak, rolling around and acting crazy, because of them, you know, it's not crazy. It's only crazy to us, or it looks stupid to us, because we're grown-ups and we have this stigma about, you know, what we're supposed to be and not supposed to be. But to the kids, it's all fun and games, and that's where most of their learning comes from, through fun, through activities.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that's another critical component of ours, that early childhood education piece, because I think we got a good understanding on what it means to stabilize the father, put him in a position to be able to take care of himself, to be able to provide for his child financially, but also understanding how important it is for him to be there during those early critical years of child development, and also being a part of that school readiness process and preparing his child to go into kindergarten. So we wanted to put that emphasis forth, to have the children be fully ready to go into school, but have the fathers also educated to know what to do to make sure they're prepared. My last question for the panel is, what skills, what tools do you think that you have taken away and you continue to enhance as well as develop as a result of being in the Father Project? And I'll start with you, Jose.
Well, what I've got a lot from the groups. Mostly is just how to deal with your children, because where I come from, it's like you get a spanking if you're bad, or if you're not listening, you get a spanking or get sent somewhere. And when I started the Fathers Project, I had a different idea of how to raise a child. When I came there, I started to talk to my daughter because by this time she was 4 and she talks a lot and she could understand me, and I started explaining to her that, that the way I do it is we're gonna talk about things, and so she has listened, and I haven't had to spank her. I have, but it's not the first thing that comes to my mind now. It's like I can talk to her, and since she can understand me, I will talk to her and tell her, and she'll understand and talk to me back. So that's one of the things that I've gotten from there. I also, they also helped me make a resume, because when I first started there, my job wasn't that great, and, I felt like I didn't have any skills. But when I got together with one of the guys from the Fathers Project, and he started helping me out and, putting basically like bullet points on the things that I do, the skills I have, and he helped me make a pretty good resume. And it's like I realized that, I know a little more than what I thought I knew, and so it was pretty nice. They've helped me a lot. I want to keep coming back just to hear other people's stories. And then in the Latino group, it's a lot of talking, and we're loud, and we got really nice people helping us there, and so I'm gonna keep coming back just for the fun of it. And you do learn a lot. We have actually like married couples that started coming to the group, and we see how they're doing, and they come just to share with us what they're going through, and that it's not just that just the one parent will have problems with the child, but as a couple you'll have problems with the child also. So I've come a long ways, and I guess I'm really proud of myself for what I've accomplished, thanks to the confidence they have given me. I recently, I didn't have communication with my daughter's mom, and I recently called her because I wanted to tell her about the things that were going on with my child, and I don't think I would have been able to do that if the Fathers Project didn't tell me that, I have rights and I can communicate with her, and that it's very important to know what's going on in both households. So I called and, got talking with her, and it kind of broke the ice, and it made me feel pretty big to have that confidence to call her, because I was shying away from her, and now it's like I kind of have the upper hand because I'm going to the parenting groups, and I have a lot more, I know a lot more. So it's pretty good to be there. I appreciate what they're doing for us, and it's a pleasure to go there. I'll go there like on my days off. If I need to use the internet or something, I'll go stop by there and say hi to everybody, because it's like I'll bring there and come with my coffee and just walk by and say hi to everybody. So it's really, really nice. So
Thanks, Jose. Charles, what skills, what tools have you taken away since you've been involved for quite some time? What have you taken away from the Father Project in terms of what you've added to your toolbox?
What I've taken away the most, because we have been given so much information, and to help build you as a man first, than as a parent. Because what I've learned is I'm only as good as a parent as I am a man. So it's very important as a man, you know, the standard for myself is high, and I work and put the effort into myself. I think that's what we get at the Father Project. You have to, you know, the help is there. You know, they're willing, they're there to service you, but nobody's gonna take your hand and, you know, you have to put in the work and learn some responsibility yourself. And one of the things I got the most from the Father Project is just co-parenting. You know, because I had a very unhealthy relationship with the mother of my children. And it didn't help too much that my upbringing, you know, my relationship with the women in my life wasn't too grand either. So my view of, you know, mothers, you know, wasn't the top thing on my, you know, I love list. So, you know, I'm just trying to be as nice as I can about it. Not saying that I mean, I know how mothers play, but just, I mean, I'm talking about my personal experience now. We got a lot of, you know, and from growing up as a young boy, my relationship with my mother now has been restored, and it's a beautiful thing, and I appreciate the women in my life, but that's where I was at that time. So learning how to co-parent, learning how to appreciate, you know, the mothers, you know, is what I obtained. And having other mother figures, you know, like, again, Michelle Bell and things at the Father Project, you know, to build that, you know, a relationship with also helped. And just like Jose said, you know, basically just, you know, he said sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And the Father Project is definitely that family atmosphere where you can just go and just, you know, feel embraced and feel something to be a part of. I mean, it's easy. You know, I can go in my community, you know, filled with thugs, hustlers, crooks, thieves, go back to what I used to know and feel some sense of belonging. What I did, I chose to take a little trip to the other side of town and go to a safe haven, a safe ground, filled with fathers like myself that want to do whatever possible that I have to do, put in all the effort that I can put in to make sure that I am there and that I am a better father. I am the example for my children. And that's what the Father Project, that's what I've taken from the Father Project. It's been so big to me. I mean, words can't even express it, like I said.
Thank you. Charles is a preacher's kid. Be careful when you give him the microphone. We love him regardless. Conway, would you just share with us what you've taken away from the Father Project?
Share what?
Some skills, something you learned, what you take away.
Yeah, I know one thing I've learned is that, you know, work with closely with my advocate and other fathers is the thanks you know, my son showing the love and the support, being there for him, and it's showing me to be a better father, you know, and actually just sitting with the guys and even their children, you know, helping their children and helping them out when we're at the Father Project through our groups and support groups and stuff. And me, I've been there for going on 3 years, and I learned a lot in that, you know, during that time. and it's just, you know, just being close to somebody just really makes you a better man, a father, you know. It's just being close to somebody, that's how it really is, you know. So that's what really motivated me, and opening a door for me to get in the community. That goal, that's what I want to reach, and I want to help out at the Father Project.
All right. Thanks. Jerome, last but not least, what are you taking away?
For me, the most important thing I took away from the Father Project is learning the importance of myself, knowing that little things that I do affect other people in big ways. Per se, like me doing the child care, me rolling around and being goofy is actually helping that person with their child or helping them become a better father. I don't really know how to explain.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. It's all right.
I just want to be a better parent and a better person than my parents was, you know. And I want to take that wherever I go, you know. I want to be contagious, so to speak, with the importance of being there and being the best person you can be, no matter what you've been through, and having a good head on your shoulders. And that's basically what I take from the Father's Project, and I get it every time I go there, meeting new faces or seeing old faces and seeing progress, or you know, being there to say, hey man, you know, you ain't seen you in a while, what you been up to, what you doing, and hearing that when I'm not around for a while or something like that, just knowing that I got that support and everything really helps out a lot.
Thank you. Thank you, Jerome. I just want to leave you with, and I'm going to ask Charles just to comment on his experience. Our Citizen Father Project, we decided a while back that after we have fathers that go through our program that achieve significant accomplishments, pretty much the basic necessities in terms of stabilizing their lives so they can be that stabilizing influence to their kids, they all wanted to give something back. They would constantly say to us all the time, how can I volunteer? What can I do? Even for a number of them that wasn't even doing what they needed to do in terms of why they got there, but they were just happy to get some help. So what can I do? And one of the guys said to me, it's like, you know, you can't train us to be warriors. Being a part of this whole process, getting the love and support and getting connected and resources, and expect us not want to fight. We want to fight. So how can we help? So what we decided to do, outside of just having them be a parent representative for the program and maybe volunteering on different events that we have, or maybe sitting on a board, but then they were like a fish out of water, we decided that we wanted to partner with the University of Minnesota and Dr. Bill Doherty as part of their family's democracy model that brings together citizens and professionals and develops public action projects for the community on how they can take their personal stories and impact the community based on what they've overcome and what they've done, and why the community should know how important it is to be involved in the life of these fathers as they're trying to be involved in the life of the kids. And so what we decided to do is we developed messages for 5 different audiences, and we developed 2 action projects on how we want to deliver those messages. So the audiences were, we wanted to go talk to teens. We wanted to talk to men who were incarcerated. We wanted to talk to the fathers themselves. We wanted to talk to single moms. We wanted to talk to professionals. And and we wanted to do it through presentations. And we spent about a year and a half developing messages for these presentations to these specific audiences, and we now have about, I would say, about 15 presentations under our belt to all those different audiences, and it's called the Citizen Father Project, and it's men who are selected to be a part of this because not only do we want to stabilize them, we want them to understand, to fulfill, and understanding what that means to fulfill the obligation of being a father, but also, as it relates to that, we want to help you understand what it means to be a citizen, paying your taxes, voting, and then giving back to your community. So the Citizen Father Project is a way that these gentlemen have signed up. Not everyone on this panel is a part of the Citizen Father Project as of yet, but one gentleman is, and I just want him to speak to his involvement in Citizen Father and just say a little bit about, in a few minutes, what that has meant for you.
First of all, I'd like to share with you guys the meaning of a citizen father, and this is something that we developed within this year and a half of us building this thing up with Guy and Bill from the ground, and Andrew as well. A citizen father is a man who is devoted to his children and works to build a community that supports and develop healthy, active father. And I get real excited, especially when it comes to this citizen father, because, like I said, when I first came in, the Father Project doors, about a week and a half or a week or 2 weeks later, you know, I got the revelation. I got the calling within me that said, hey, this is something I want to be a part of and see this message go across this nation, to hit every major city, to get fathers stirred up and involved. See, it meant a lot to me because being in the Father Project and being around so many fathers that desire so strongly to be a part of their children's lives, and many at times can't because of relationships with the mother or because of courts or whatever it may be. I didn't have to suffer that burden, but being there to see that, you know, the hurt that comes from that, you know, it just makes you say, hey, we want to get this voice out there. Not only to stir up the dads and rally the dads, the deadbeat dads out there and say, get back in your family life, get back in your community, get back and get back to where you're supposed to be, but also just to restore hope back in the mothers. You know, restore hope back and rebuild this image of manhood and fatherhood, you know, for our community, our society, our nation, you know. And what drew me to the Father Project is that's what drew me to have that option, to that voice to be able to do that. And that's the spirit that drives every Citizen Father Project member. That's what beats. That's the blood that flows through our veins, just the passion, the desire to share our story, to share the importance of what being in my child's life means to me, and having the opportunity to speak to all the audience that we've spoken to, and seeing the reaction and lives being changed and motivated has been a great deal to me. It's been very big to me. I think about this trip here to D.C. This is my third time being in D.C. But the other 2 times I came to D.C. for a reason. Maybe to visit family, you know, for a wedding, etc. This is the first time out of those 3 trips I've been in D.C. for a purpose. And that's 2 different things. So as we, all of us together walked through, you know, did some sightseeing, took pictures. For me, it meant something. It meant, I'm not one who is lost for words. I'm a man of many words. But I can't express what it meant for me, because this is something that I saw 4.5 years ago when I first entered the Father Project. And to be here today, you know, is a monument for me, not just because I'm here speaking in front of you, because I've stuck to everything that I planned on sticking to. I made commitments. I've made sacrifices. I've had to endure hardship as a man, as a father. I've had to pay the price to be able to call myself a Citizen Father Project member and to be able to sit in front of you here today and express my passion, explain my story. So for me, it means so much, and you just gotta be a part of this thing. And just fatherhood is such a big thing because we put that stamp of approval on our children. And the song that was played earlier today.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. Take your time.
The R. Kelly song, The World's Greatest. That song is one of me and my boys' favorite song. We jam that song in the car all the time. Because I want to get things like that in his spirit. And you got to understand, you got to be in this vehicle with us. He sings at the top of his lungs this song. And look, he looks at me. Because when I'm in the zone, I'm singing too, like, I'm the world greatest. And he's looking at me. He's looking at Daddy from his booster seat in the back, and he's doing the same thing too. I'm that star up in the sky. And you don't understand what that means to me, because nobody told me I was the world's greatest. Nobody told me you're a king, boy. You're strong. We're strong. You're a leader. You're a champ. You can do anything. These are things that I'm installing in my boys, installing their family name, setting the standard by paying the price, by making the choices that I've made, by making the sacrifices, by eliminating certain friends. So for me, this is not a game. This is reality. This is everyday life. There's lives involved, and it's bigger than just my two. It's lives in my community, on my block, on my neighborhood, in my county, in my nation. And that's why I believe that, and I'm so happy to be a part of this Citizen Father Project, because what we do, I like to say we're the voice and the legs of Father Project, because we speak to a broader audience. We've done so many speaking engagement that is, place us in that position to speak and reach a broader audience and share all the things that we obtained from the Father Project as men.
Questions? Yes, sir. Okay. He asked the question. Is there microphones out there? But the question was, what was the relationship that I had with my own father, John, as well as the other gentleman that's on the panel? John, you're trying to make us all cry, right? Is that what that is? Not really? If it happens, it happens, though, right? Unfortunately, as I had said earlier, I grew up without my father. He wasn't there. I didn't know who my father was up until I was 15 years old. Grew up in Chicago, moved to Minnesota for a better place. My mother brought all of her children for a better place for all of us, and it was the right decision because had that not happened, I might have been one of those statistics in terms of what we had talked about earlier that ends up becoming a number of different things. Not that I haven't made mistakes, not that I haven't had challenges, not haven't had to overcome obstacles similar to all these gentlemen here on the panel, but it had a tremendous impact on me in terms of understanding about what it means to be a man, and so that had a huge impact on me not having it. So I better understand it today, but I look at it today and I say all the things I thought I ever wanted from my father that he didn't give me, by not giving me, he gave me everything I ever needed because it made me be committed and dedicated to be the type of father that I wanted for my child, that I wanted for myself. Anybody else?
Yeah, my father in my life, he taught me, he wasn't there for a while, but he came back and he changed, and I see the change in him even before. I just see it through his dad, my grandpa, and he really just gave up everything he did, and he came back home, and he seen us grow, and he nurtured us, and he put in us something that, you know, being a responsible father. My dad, I look up to him. I see him in the community all the time, and you know, right there, that's what drove me. Another thing, that's what drove me to motivate me to help out. He likes to help the people. You know, he don't wanna be on anybody's side. He's not, you know, he's for everybody. You know, he loves the people, and that's what he instilled in me, you know. And that's what I want to do, you know. I know what it means to, you know, I see him to be humbled in the face of everybody, and even to be humbled to be around the Father Project too, and stuff. That's what my father has done for me.
Thank you. We're running short on time, so we'll take another question, and then I'll hand it over to Tanyette, who also have a question or two for the guys. Any other questions? All the way in the back.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Just one bit of advice hope to take from you guys. But let's go back a little bit in time before you guys got into this program. If somebody from the Father Project came and talked to you about the program, what things could they have said to make you interested in it, to make you want to come?
Well, basically, what I always say to people, I always share about, you know, the love, the atmosphere, you know, these guys, Guy and Michelle and our advocates, they're there because they want to be, you know, and we can feel that. I mean, it's just something, I don't know how to express this, but when you get in that atmosphere and you're with other guys that's got the same common goal, striving for the same thing, wanting to be positive, you know what I'm saying, and rebuild themselves for their children. Man, I mean, when you tell a guy that who's searching for something, you know, because there are guys out there that want to be in their children's lives, but they just need the support. They just need sometimes somewhere to go, somebody that would stand with them and, you know, gives them some skills and educate them a little bit and point them in a good direction. You know, maybe you support them and cheer them on and help them build their wings so that they can fly. And because of, you know, not having access to that, many potential good fathers go astray. So I mean, just to give guys that encouragement, I mean, you know, every time I tell a guy, you can see their face light up. And I believe that if I was, you know, ignorant of what the Father Project was and had to offer, and I was out there and a guy came and told me, and that would definitely move me as well, so.
Thank you. Well, before, you guys, you can fly. Thank you, Charles. I just want to say, before I turn over to Tanya, this has been an absolutely incredible opportunity for us. I really enjoyed the dialogue. I enjoyed hearing the guys. I'm continuing to be moved and inspired by what they say and what they do, and at the same time having opportunities to be able to share this information with those of you that's a part of this very important work. So I would like to thank you for allowing us to come in to present this information to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jerome wanted to answer that question as well that you asked in the back.
Can you turn me up here? Thank you. I don't really think there is nothing that you can say to get them to come in. I think it's more of a them seeing other fathers go through it or seeing the people at work or going through the program that gets other fathers to come, you know. I think it's more of a what they see, then they'll come, you know. I don't think it's nothing you can really say to get them to, I mean, you could probably convince them to come or whatever and whatnot, but I think it's better for them to see it with their own eyes. And then I think you won't have no problem with them coming at all. That's it. That's all I want to say.
And go ahead. I just wanted to ask one question of the panel. What did it mean to you when you got your certificate of completion, your certificate of achievement when you completed the sessions?
For me, it was like another stepping stone, another, you know, I'm happy that I got, you know, a certain amount of sessions done or whatever, but it was, for me, it was just the start of something bigger, you know, a start, that was the doorway to the next step, you know, for me, at least.
For me, you know, we got through the, I think it was the MELD parenting, but they gave us a plaque, you know, a plaque to show us, you know, that we, hey, you know, when we go somewhere to get a job or something, we can show that plaque, you know.
Symbolic.
That's pretty nice, you know. I was looking at it. When I looked at it, you know, and I achieved something, you know, and I just, it just kind of, it just brought tears to my eyes just looking at it, you know, and now it's hanging up in the Father Project, and yeah, I feel proud of that, and happy about that.
Charles?
Well, me and many of the other participants that I've witnessed and seen come to the Father Project, commitment. Commitment is a big thing, and I think it's a big thing for men in general, ain't it? So commitment to something positive, you know, and so being able to say that, you know, I committed myself, you know, to be able to get this certificate, to finish the parenting courses and, you know, or whatever, you know, just being able to make that commitment, you know, was the biggest thing to me in the start of my journey, because like I said, you know, it's a journey. You know, when you come to the Father Project, you have to be aware that, hey, I got a journey to take to get to my destination. And having that, you know, certificate for many guys as well as myself, you know, was a good thing. It was a motivational thing, because it says that, okay, well, I'm taking steps on my journey, you know, to overcome certain milestones, and it was a great thing on that level.
Well, I was surprised. I'm like, well, I'm getting an award for doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It felt kind of weird. But it was also very encouraging, you know, kind of said, hey, look, you're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. So it's it's something nice to see. It's like, hey, something's got your name on it and you're doing good. And I guess I wasn't used to that, because not even at school I wasn't getting awards or anything, so it was pretty big for me. But it's very encouraging, and it's just really nice to get some recognition for what it is that you're doing. So what I had got is also up in my house, and I'm proud of it. So it's really nice.
And my last question, the program provides incentives such as bus tickets, clothing. What type of incentive did you receive when you were in the program, and how did it benefit you?
Incentives? I was real active in the Father's Project. I do all types of stuff, man. The biggest incentive for me was seeing me work with other people's kids, and then seeing the fathers pick it up later and seeing them do something that I taught them. That was the most encouraging thing for me. But I think I got a $25 gift certificate or something like that, and they also provided me with a housing, an apartment after you do so much, and the legal aid. That was something that you get after you partake in so many groups or something like that. So it's a lot. It's a lot, and it means a lot once you get it. You know, it helps you appreciate what you're doing there more.
Okay, Conway.
The biggest one was incentive for me was, my advocate. I got a $25 gift for presentations, but I helped this father out, because that's what fathers, that's what they should, we should do. Even at the other Division of Indian Works, we help each other. That's all. Even the Father Project, being there for each other.
Yeah.
Show them, that we should help each other out. That's with their kids, being with the kids, and showing them support. That's all it is.
Thank you. Charles?
Well, several months ago, I've had to leave my place to my children's mother, and where we were staying, but I had to, and as well as my furniture and things of that nature, and find a new place because of conflict. But Father Project helped me with furnishing my new place, and like I came to Guy and said, hey man, I had to get a new place and I need new furniture, because I'm not gonna go to my old place and take the furniture that my children are spending half of their time during the month sitting on. So they helped me with furnishing, gas cards every other week, job training, and several things. I think they even helped me pay a phone bill several years ago too. So, yeah, they helped. That came in very handy. I could use that now, but no. But it's a lot of stuff. So they've been a blessing. Father Project has been a blessing to me. So,
Jose, thank you.
Well, when I first started there, what I got out of it was like confidence, and I felt so good going in court with somebody from the county on my side, to tell my story, and so that felt pretty good to go in there and know that I wasn't the bad guy, and that there was somebody there to speak for me on my behalf, because I was turning around and being somebody different and being the good person. And what I was going to court is to establish my child support, to it's like setting myself to make the payments, and so it was really good. It was confident. And the last times that I've gone to court, it's me going to court. I go to the court and I set up the court dates, and it feels really good, because I'm taking control and I'm taking my rights as a dad. I'm getting what I need to get out of this, and you know, I have some say in what goes on in my child's life. Another incentive is bus passes. The bus passes for me were great, man. I loved them. They, you know, I could get to work and back into the Father's Project, and you know, it was good because before I established my child support, I was getting about $60 every 2 weeks for on my check. So it's like either I buy food or I go to work. So when they were giving me these bus passes, I was loving it. You know, I was like, man, you know, I can really use it. So it was nice. And just giving me, I guess, another reason to go back to the Father's Project. But it was I feel great, man. It's like it's so good to know that you have rights, that you can go to court and not feel like, you know, like you want to put your head between your legs or anything like that, you know, because you go in there and you're so scared because you're being looked at bad. So it's like things have turned around, and I call, you know, basically I'm the one that calls her to court to, you know, adjust things, you know, because I've changed a couple of jobs, and to go there and feel confident and say, you know what, my child support needs to be lowered, or, you know, this is what's going on. So it's pretty good, you know, and I feel good that I'm doing this, that I'm supporting my child in every way that I can, and it's just nice to have them people there, you know, like the person from child support is there. She is like my friend, you know. So anything that changes, I just call her. I have her phone number, you know. It's not that they'd be calling me to, you know, tell me that I owe or anything. It's I call her and give her my information. So just having them there makes me feel really important. Like they're serving me, help me to serve my child or my children. So it's something really nice to have. And you know, it's like when you go through the program, but for me it's not like going through the program, it's like being at the program. It's not something that you go through, it's something that's with you. And I don't want to say that I've gone through the program, because it's like I'm not going to go through the program. I'm just going to stay in there and hang out and do whatever. But
I think Jose want to move in. I forgot to mention, if I can, we all didn't used to dress so well. So Father Project helped us all probably with our first suit. So I know they helped me with several suits and ties, my first suits and ties. So I just wanted to add that.
Well, thank you all for sharing and coming here. We appreciate it. We've learned a lot from you all, and I wish you safe travels. Thank you, Guy, for arranging for the panel. And just let's give them a hand of applause again. Thank you again.